Hi everyone. So I'm just out for a walk in the bush with Johnnicky, the new dog that we got, who is here. Johnnicky, come on. So this area, it's in the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro, where I am. It's just out the back of my village, Uchira, and I mean, first of all, it's very beautiful. I'll let you have a look around in a second. I'll show you actually. And Kilimanjaro is right in front of me, but again she's hidden by cloud, as often happens. So, but anyway, I want to talk about something, because for all Johnnicky seems a bit reluctant to come here. I think it might be too hot for her, so I'll get her to a tree. For all it's very beautiful. Sorry, my memory card was full. So anyway, so I was saying, even here, where it is beautiful, in an area of natural beauty. It's a lovely place. There's a lot of wildlife here. There's baboon not far. We find antelope here. There's honey badgers, which I'm happy we haven't seen any today because they're quite aggressive. So yeah, it's a beautiful place. But if you know what you're looking for, then the evidence of hardship and the desperation that people go through in Tanzania is literally everywhere. Even here, which would appear to the untrained eye to be the middle of nowhere, but let me show you what I mean. So all this uneven ground is evidence that people have been here breaking stones. So what they do when they have no money, men, women and children find a hammer of some description and they come to the bush, places like this, and they get big rocks that were originally like that, and they hit it and pound it until they break pieces off. You can see the shards on the floor. This gives you an idea. Look, every rock you can see. This is children as young as 7, pounding rocks in the sun all day. They take a break when it's too hot so they can pay for school fees and clothing and food and other really simple things that we take for granted. So I just wanted to show you that, because a lot of the children who are in my children's fund who have been sponsored, any sponsors watching this, this is what you've protected them from. This is what they do without school. They wind up here. It's crazy. Hey, right now there's an area out the back of the village where it's a weekend, it's Saturday. So children who are not at school are labouring, breaking stones, which I spoke about. I'll maybe put it at the beginning of this video, I don't know. Some of these children, they don't go to school. All they do is break stones for around about, I think around about £12 a month, so less than $1 a day. And it's hard work, believe me. It's hard work, even for a grown man or woman. It's hard work. So I'm going there now to speak with them. Some of the children are not in school. Some of them are in school. but have to do this, otherwise their families can't afford to send them to school or to feed them to send them to school. But yeah, I mean, it's not an easy sight to see children, well, to see any form of labour for a child. Child labour that's just ridiculous. In this day and age, it's not right. It just should not be happening. The resources are there to make sure that this doesn't have to happen. But the problem is that there's a minority of people on the planet hanging on to the resources to have this really nice quality of life. And in truth, it should be spread equally, so everyone can have a quality of life and children don't have to suffer like this. But yeah, just to share resources can put an end to this, and it's just the most it's the most frustrating thing to know that there are people out there who can put a stop to this. A fraction, in fact, interesting thing, a fraction of the wealth that the heirs to the Walmart dynasty have can put an end to world hunger tomorrow. But they don't share. So I'm going there now with Ali and Johnson. We're not sure if the car will get there, so we'll see what goes on. If not, we'll have to ditch the car and I'll jump on a motorbike. See what happens.
All the power invested in me. Be hard to love my enemies. All of the black bags over the heads of the dead and dying. The more I understand about the human race, the less I comprehend about our purpose and place.
Hi everyone. So I'm waiting for Johnson. We're still on our way to see the children who are working, and Ali just said something that I find really interesting, an observation about Wazungus, which means foreigners or white men. So do you want to tell them what you just told me, Ali? So
my name is Ali. I'm working village to village, and lots Muzungu is not to pray. Thank you.
Okay. so yeah, Ali doesn't speak perfect English, but we get by. But he made an observation because we were listening to a song by a man who I said he sings Krishna Das music, and I said he loves God very much. And Ali pointed out, he said, yeah, not many Muzungu pray, talk to God. And his other observation is that the ones that he meets in Tanzania, which is not all, but a lot of people who come to try and volunteer, they like the nightclubs too much and they drink a lot. So isn't that a strange observation from someone in Tanzania, that the majority of Wazungus are out partying and drinking and not praying, when in actual truth, if he came to England and went to a city most nights of the week, that's exactly what he would see. So, food for thought anyway. We're here. We have been told by some of the boys who have just finished class 7 that there's some kids working nearby, and one of them, actually, this young man. So, but this young man, just keep that face in mind. But yeah, they're all a little bit camera shy, I think, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to head off. These kids have told us where there's some other children who are working, so we're going to head there now. And I think we're probably going to have an escort while we do so. As you can see. There you go. So even while we stood watching, there's bits falling off and collapsing. You can see how dangerous it is for a child as young as 7 to be sat here smashing rocks with a hammer. Especially in this heat as well. It is hot here, so hot. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can really say. I think it speaks for itself here. We've met a boy whose name I'm struggling to pronounce, Rajabu Ali.
Yeah.
Okay, Rajabu Ali is his name. And he is, how old are you now? 13? Kumina tatu? 14. He's 14 years old. What happened was he finished primary and his parents didn't have the money to pay for him to go to secondary school. So the secondary school then struck him off as being a possibility of attending. So he now is unable to register for school even if they had the money to get him into school. So he's labouring with his father, breaking stones. It's not what they want for him. They want him in school. And it's, like I say, it's hard work. So to give you an idea, what they have to do is break those stones there into this gravel, and then for one wagon they get, in a month they'll do a wagon, a truck, and they'll get 80,000 T shillings, which is £20. It takes 8 people to fill the truck. So that's, well, I can't even work that out. It's like, I don't know, you're looking at like 10 cents a day in the US or something like that people are earning here, which is just absolutely crazy. So this is Rajabu, and this is his mother and father, or mama and baba as you say in Kiswahili. So we're going to try and help Rajabu to, we're going to try and help him to get into school. I'll go and talk to the headmistress at the government school and see what can happen, and see if we can get him away from breaking these stones, because it's no life for a person, let alone a child. I'll also see if I can help the family in some way, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what goes on. Okay, so something else, these young men here, they're all child labourers as well. So they've all finished primary school, but the way it works in Tanzania, if they haven't passed their exams, which they are yet to find out, then they have to go to private school, which not any of them, if they're labouring, can afford. So it's a vicious circle that they're in. So lots of these faces might very well be sentenced to continue with this life, which is not a life for anybody. it's not right. So this is why I'm here, to try and put a stop to things like this. They're not working at the moment because it's too hot, so they took a break, but they'll be getting back on it. So yeah, very sad to see. Okay, so as it happens, one of the children who's here working today is already in my program. So he's just carrying on doing what he knows for now with his friends. His name is Tumaini, and he met, okay, so back in July, a private school, I arranged for them to come and visit at the primary school, and some of the teachers, 4 of them, wanted to sponsor children. Three of them, sorry, wanted to sponsor children. And they all met some children who were needing some help, and Tumaini was one of them. So the person who sponsored him is called Ben, and so yeah, Ben, this is what you have protected him from, because this is still what he's doing, because he doesn't know what else to do with his time now that he's not at school. But we'll make sure that he's obviously going off to do his training, vocational training, to be a tailor is what I think we're going to arrange for him to do, and Ben agreed to support him while he does that. So here's Tumaini, and he has something to say.
Thank you, Ben, for helping me.
Excellent. Asante. So yeah, if you didn't hear that, he said thank you. Doesn't speak the best English, obviously, so. But wow, amazing to find him here, doing this, even though he knows he's been sponsored. It's just what he knows, so he carried on hanging out with his friends and breaking stones. So, but he'll be stopping doing this. And like I say, this is thanks to you, Ben. So yeah, thank you, and thank you to any other sponsors who have protected the kids from this. Kwaheri.
Nini? Haya, kwa heri. Kachezeni huko, tutakuja siku nyingine.
Hi everyone. So I just wanted to say something about the boys that I went to the other day who were labouring. So, I mean, first of all, it was nice to see one of the boys from my programme there, who is going off to do vocational training, and for all he knows that he will be doing that, he still chose to go and break stones with his friends and earn some money for the family that took him in, because this boy, Tumaini, he lost all his immediate family to HIV, and a neighbour allowed him to stay there. So he does his utmost to pay his own way. He's a very strong young man, so, and a very happy young man, you might have saw from that video. So yeah, it was good to see that the programme's working, and to see a young life that's going to stop doing that and get some hope, because he would have stayed there for the rest of his life. That would have been his life, was breaking them stones until he is an old man. And that is what happens. I've seen it. I've met old men who have been doing this since they were boys, since they were small. And it's just, they have no hope for life. They tend to drink, you know, they just give up. And why wouldn't you? Yeah? Sitting there, breaking a rock all day. It's something like, back in the West, you see in black and white movies, they force prisoners to do this sort of thing, you know, with the prison outfits on. And these are kids being forced to do it by, ultimately, an unfair economic system. But the thing is with those boys, to help them, to put a stop to that, to put a stop to what you saw, it doesn't take much at all. Like, it's so little £2.60 a week can put a stop to that. It can school them, it can ensure they're clothed and fed at school. It can literally put a stop to that. You saw those boys were earning 10 cents a day. It doesn't need to be that way. Like, it just doesn't need to be. There's no reason for it to be that way. There's enough resources to ensure those children don't have to be put through that. They shouldn't have to suffer that way. But it boils down to misdistribution of wealth and people not sacrificing luxuries to ensure that those children can have some quality of life. And that's how I see it, because the world is clearly not sustaining the way that some of us are living. I know, because I used to live a life like that. And when I found out about children like this, I realized that the world can't sustain me living this life, because it means that someone on the other end of the spectrum has got to have nothing for me to have more than I need. But the thing is, I know something as well, the way it works. If every week, when you write out your shopping list, you could put on there, sponsor a child. And there was an aisle in the supermarket where you could grab something and that would sponsor a child, and it was £2.60. So many of you, a vast majority of you, would put that in your trolley. I know for a fact you would. But I can't get that on a supermarket shelf, but you can still put it on your shopping list. And you can still metaphorically put that in your trolley every week. You can do that for the world. You can make that a necessity. This week I need to do this. I need to budget for this. And this is my belief. It's a very strong belief I have that is something that we can begin to do. And I know it's very easy as well as a human being. I am one. To look to the next guy and say, well, he's got more than me, so he should do it. But it's not how it operates, because the more you own, the more material items you have, the harder it is to start sharing, because you attach your happiness to it. You attach your life to it. So the more you own, the more it owns you. So the likelihood of the rich man sharing, it's not going to happen. It's the average Joe, and it's if every average person who can reach out and do a little something started doing that, then maybe them super rich would start to go into their minds as well, that they don't have to hang on to everything for dear life. They can share. So yeah, it's something to think about. Can you put sponsoring a child on your shopping list this week? Can you give up a cup of coffee in Costa or Starbucks and help a child not have to break stones and suffer in the heat and be at risk of innumerous issues health-wise that come about through doing that? If you can, then it helps make the world a better place, yeah? No one likes putting the news on and seeing all this crap that's being thumped into your head all the time. Sensationalizing stuff and lying so as they can attract viewers and have your consciousness in a state of a low vibration, because it's easy to manipulate. If something's scary, you can manipulate it quite easily. Ebola is a good example of that, because everyone in the West worrying about me getting Ebola. But since Ebola's killed 3,000 people, 1 million people have died here of malaria. And 90% of them are below the age of 6, because they can't tell you their symptoms. Why aren't they reporting on that? Because it's not scary enough. Malaria's been around a while. So if you want to help, put that on your shopping list. Like I said, £2.60 this week, sponsor a child. You can't go to the supermarket and drop it in your trolley, but metaphorically you can. You can do that. You can do it. And it won't do anything for your five senses. I know it won't taste good. You know, it won't make you drunk. It won't do any of those things. But it'll do something for somewhere deeper within you. I promise you. It'll do something immeasurably better than a bar of chocolate will do for you, or a glass of wine, or whatever. If anything, it'll probably improve your health by eliminating one of the things you could give up to do that. That's what I wanted to say anyway. So. Anyway, the sun's going down, so I best get off and get my jobs finished, 'cause there's still some stuff to do here. And I hope this video has served the purpose I want it to. I hope at least one of you have become enlightened to the plight of these boys and these girls, because they need help. And I believe that the people who can help in a big way are those of you who have access to social media or YouTube and things like that. At least spare a thought for them this week, if you can, if you're not too busy. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.